This is the new Council Tool Camp Carver Hatchet. You want a closer look? Most people are going to want to see this tool work, not listen to me yap. So I'll try and keep this short. I put this video together with the average user in mind. Basically, just doing some camp chores. I'll put more information and the specifications down in the description box, so if you're interested, check that out. At the end of the video, if you want to hear my impressions of this and a couple of the issues that I ran into and how I fixed them, feel free to stick around. Alright. When I first received this hatchet, I posted an unboxing video of sorts and some pictures on Instagram, and I received a question on both sites asking me how it split. And I thought it was a little odd considering that it's just a small camp hatchet. Basically, it's not a splitting maul. So I thought that question was a little odd. But I do understand. Smaller hatchets, some designs work better than others for splitting. I thought I'd take a couple seconds to maybe pass on a couple tips that I use that help me when using a smaller tool like this to split wood. Number one, you're going to get out of it what you put in. So you want to do a little bit of prep work to help you along your way. Okay. Number two, you want to cut the wood when you can to separate the rounds from the knots. It's not always possible, but when it is, it sure makes life easier to cut this nice solid round without any knots in it. And then later on you can burn the knots, or if you're using a wood stove, you can split this down a lot easier than if it was attached to the round. And lastly, you want a good solid platform to split your wood on. You don't want to be robbed of what little power you do have with a small hatchet when you're trying to split it if you're on soft ground or snow. So either use like what I've got here, or heck, even something like this is better than nothing. You can take one of the knotted chunks, or even a stump if you're in an area where they've done some logging in the past, or if you're in the snow, you can take 2 of your rounds and set them down. Basically anything that you can use to support your work. So you're not. All right, so let's split some wood up. See how this thing does. This is about the size of stuff I would use in my hot tent stove. And this is about as big around as I would really want to tackle with this little hatchet. Oh man, completely destroyed my base. We're gonna have to go with plan B here. There we go. So if I was using my hot tent stove, I'd probably split this up another one. Not quite. Yeah, it's not horrible at splitting. Obviously, probably could use a better base. I thought that thing was going to hold up better, but hey, it's just the way it goes out here, you know? That wood right there, very good fire starter. So much resin on there, it doesn't want to strike. Okay, so that's my camp chores for a basic camp. These are going to be my opinions of this hatchet so far. Keep in mind these are my opinions and for my use and my area. Your mileage may vary. I've had this for a few months now, and I have taken it on several outings. It handled everything I put it through very well. I think it can stand on its own for a small camp, or would be very good to pair with a larger axe when camping for longer periods. That's what I did on my last hot tent trip. I did not do much carving with it. I'm just really not very artistic. That's not really my thing. I did manage to make one spoon, however, and use this to rough out the blank. It did very well. I really like the look of it. In fact, it's what sold me on it when I first saw it. It's got nice clean lines. The head is about the right weight. Not too heavy to be cumbersome when carving, but with enough weight to chop and split. The pole is hardened, which for me is always a bonus. The top of the head is ground 90 degrees for scraping. This will save your cutting edge. The overall length is good for small tasks and is good for using inside a hot tent while tending a fire, making kindling or carving on a long winter's night. It also makes it easy to slip into a pack or wear on your belt. The blade for the handle size chops very well. Now for a few issues, and really there's only two. First, the grind. The flat grind didn't really work out for me. It arrived very sharp and did great for carving and use in clean wood. However, when I started chopping down pine, which is full of resin and pitchwood, it just did not hold up very well. People sometimes scoff at pine as a softwood, and normally that's true. Windfall and timber-cut trees dump a ton of resin into their branches. It can be like cutting through epoxy, demanding a robust edge design. Now, before anyone takes this out of context, I would like to say that my Gransfors Brooks Carpenter's hatchet is the same way. It has a very fine edge that will not hold up under heavy chopping and splitting through knots. The difference being I only use that for woodworking, because it's got a flat blade profile. In the case of the Council Camp Hatchet, I intended to use it for a variety of tasks. so decided to take 20 minutes and knock the edge back a little. Problem solved. It is more robust, but at a slight cost to fine carving ability. I will add that edge profile is like a pair of shoes. Not everybody is going to wear the same type of shoe depending on your circumstances. The second is kind of silly because I know this is a hatchet, but I would love to see this thing with the same eye as the pack axe. I would put that handle on here immediately. Unfortunately, the eye is a little smaller, and that will limit the length of handle you should put on it. There is good news though. I do believe they are going to make a longer straight-handled version of this in the future, 19 inches if I recall. I would very much like to get a hold of one of these. I think the trade-off between packability and capability will be well worth it, at least for me. To sum up, this has been an excellent tool for me. It looks really good, it performs excellent, the basic layout is very handy, very well thought out, with multiple uses in mind. It comes with a very nice sheath, and as I pointed out in another video, Council Tool does a good job protecting your axe during shipping. The company has also been very responsive with any questions I asked. I do feel they stand behind their product. Well, I hope this video has been useful to you. If it has, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Till next time, guys, stay safe, practice your skills, leave a comment, leave a suggestion. Constructive criticism is always welcome. That's how we learn. Till next time, see ya. The new Council Tool Camp Carver Hatchet. Want a closer look? Too bad. I can't throw.